Words cannot describe the anguish and despair that we are feeling as the parents of our beautiful daughter, Madeline.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 missing persons cases that still haven't been solved.
There's an aeroplane up in the sky and you just instantly question, how does something like that disappear?
For this list, we'll be looking at the most mysterious instances where people disappeared and their true fate has still eluded authorities. Do you have any theories about these cases? Share them with us in the comments. Number 10. Amelia Earhart. Amelia Earhart was an author, record setter, and the first female aviator to make a solo trip across the Atlantic Ocean. In 1937, she teamed up with navigator Fred Noonan to become the first female to circumnavigate the globe.
Contemplated course covers about 27,000 miles. It will be the first flight, if successful, which approximates the equator.
The two were spotted fueling up at Lae, New Guinea on one of the final legs of the trip. Earhart and Noonan then vanished over the Pacific Ocean and were never seen again. Both are presumed dead, but we still don't know conclusively what actually happened. Public interest and investigations into their disappearance continue to this day. Number 9. Bison Dell. On July 6, 2002, retired NBA player Bison Dell sailed from Tahiti with his girlfriend Serena Carlin and Captain Bertrand Saldo. Dell's catamaran returned to Tahiti 14 days later with only Dell's brother, Miles aboard. Once the police caught up to him, he purposely overdosed on insulin, causing him to slip into a coma and die shortly after. The police believed he killed everyone on board and dumped their bodies in the Pacific Ocean. But Miles claimed he shot Dell in self-defense after the basketball player killed the other two. Since their bodies were presumably dumped way out at sea, it's unlikely we will ever find them and confirm his story. Number 8. Natalie Holloway. In 2005, 18-year-old Natalie Holloway traveled to Aruba on an unofficial graduation trip with her classmates.
She was a goal setter and she knew exactly what she was going to do in life.
She was reported missing after failing to show up for her flight home. It led to an intense search that involved local authorities, volunteers, the FBI, and a reward that reached $1 million.
My beautiful, intelligent, an outstanding daughter.
The last people to see her alive were local residents Joran Vandersloot and brothers Deepak and Satish Kalpoe, who reported they dropped her off at her hotel and hadn't seen her since. The prime suspect was Vandersloot, who made conflicting confessions which he later retracted. He was found guilty of killing another girl years later, but Natalie's death is still unconfirmed. Number 7. Lord Lucan. Richard John Bingham, the 7th Earl of Lucan, was a wealthy aristocrat in England. After becoming a professional gambler, Lord Lucan's marriage collapsed, and he lost custody of his children.
But very, very worried for what would happen to them, being looked after by Veronica, who was mentally unsound.
In 1974, the children's nanny was found bludgeoned to death in the family home. Lucan reportedly attacked his ex-wife Veronica when she went to investigate the nanny's whereabouts.
But if they harbour or aid or abet him, they can be arrested.
He was last seen at a friend's property in Uckfield, where he telephoned his mother and wrote a letter to his children. Police found an abandoned car in New Haven stained with blood, along with what appeared to be the murder weapon. While he was named a killer, he was never found. People have reported sightings of the man ever since. Number 6. Bobby Dunbar. In August 1912, the Dunbar family took a fishing trip to Swayze Lake in Louisiana, where their 4-year-old son Bobby disappeared. An 8-month search yielded no results until police arrested William Cantwell Walters. He was found traveling with a boy who matched Bobby's description, though Walters claimed the boy was the son of a friend, Julia Anderson. The child was given to the Dunbars, and Walters was convicted. But Julia Anderson protested Walters' innocence and claimed the boy as her son, Charles Bruce Anderson. the claims were disregarded and the boy grew up as Bobby Dunbar. Years after his death, DNA evidence revealed conclusively that he was not a Dunbar. The real Bobby's fate is still unknown.
So we now know that my dad was not the missing child.
Number 5. Megumi Yokota. In 1997, 13-year-old Megumi Yokota vanished while walking home from school in a seaside village of Japan. Decades later, the North Korean government admitted to multiple kidnappings of Japanese citizens, including hers.
It broke my heart. And it should break everybody's heart, but it speaks to the nature of the regime.
It was stated that Megumi was put to work in North Korea, married, had a child, and then took her own life at 29 years old.
These North Korean spies would then go out using Japanese passports and their new identity to carry out missions for North Korea.
They cremated her body, sent the remains to her family, and allowed her parents to visit their granddaughter. But it turns out the cremated ashes were not Megumi's. DNA analysis wasn't a positive match, and death certificates appeared fabricated. Some believe she's still alive in North Korea.
本当に42年っていうのはもう言うのも腹が立つほどの長い年月で、どうしてこんな大事な問題がちゃんといい終結がにならないのかっていう。
Number 4. Harold Holt. In December 1967, Australian Prime Minister Harold Holt and some traveling companions stopped off at Cheviot Beach to swim. He claimed to have spearfished there many times before. Despite rough conditions, he swam out a lot farther than the one man who joined him. Then, in a single moment, he disappeared. This sparked one of the largest search operations for a missing person in Australian history, but his body was never found.
The Army is in charge of the whole operation. 3 helicopters have been called in. Lots of local boats have been employed.
Conspiracy theories floated around, but he was presumed dead by accidental drowning. Holt was the 3rd Australian Prime Minister to die while in office, though there's still no concrete proof of his death.
An extensive search has been in operation since approximately 2 o'clock today. Up until the present time, of course, we've found no trace of our Prime Minister.
Number 3. Jimmy Hoffa. Jimmy Hoffa rose to prominence as the head of the Teamsters labor union. He played a significant role in the organization's growth, but had some sketchy relationships and criminal convictions.
I don't care to try and recall back my entire lifetime since I started working at the age 17 as to how I accumulated money or how I spent it.
In 1975, he disappeared. Due to his political notoriety, this became a hot story, with abundant theories around it. The most common is that his death was ordered by the mafia. This idea was chronicled in the book I Heard You Paint Horses by Charles Brandt, which was then adapted into The Irishman by Martin Scorsese.
The day our trucks stop, America stops!
However, all these stories have been contested, and the true reason for his disappearance remains unknown. Number 2. Malaysia Airlines Flight 370.
The last time that the world had this interest in a missing airplane, the captain was Amelia Earhart.
In 2014, this Boeing 777 was flying from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing when it suddenly vanished mid-flight. Modern planes are equipped with all manner of tracking devices, so the aircraft's sudden disappearance astounded many.
He reveals Captain Zahari dipped his wing to see Penang, his hometown.
While marine debris did wash ashore in the following years, no one knows what happened to cause the aircraft to deviate from its course and lose contact.
Why did he want to have a look at Penang?
It might be a long emotional goodbye or a short emotional goodbye to his hometown.
Multiple investigations have been started and stopped with minimal success, leaving the families of all those on board still waiting for answers.
To think they could be out there somewhere. There's constantly reminded, you look up in the sky and there's an airplane.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Madeleine McCann. While on a family vacation to Portugal, 3-year-old Madeleine McCann vanished from the ground floor apartment of the Praia de Luz resort. The night of May 3, 2007, she and her twin siblings were left asleep in the room while her parents went out to a nearby restaurant. The McCanns and their family checked on the sleeping children throughout the night until it was discovered that the toddler was missing.
Please tell us where to find her, or put her in a place of safety and let somebody know where she is.
It's believed that she was kidnapped, creating one of the most publicized searches in modern history.
Please, if you have Madeleine, let her come home to her mummy, daddy, brother and sister.
Unfortunately, wild media coverage and assumptions from the Portuguese police led to a disaster of a situation, with theories of foul play on the parents' part diluting the search efforts.
You adapt and you have a new normality, and unfortunately for us, our new normality at the minute is a family of 4.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.